Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host.
This is Sammy, your co-host.
I got a co-host today. Look at that. Today we're doing a movie review for my series, Conspiracy Cinema. Today we're covering tarot. I think it's conspiracy related. It's definitely occult related. And as an occultist, and someone who used to be a fortune teller with a company that I created called Jack of All Trades Fortune Telling, I did it for 3 years. Yeah, I definitely wanted to see this movie. So, as far as the update, it's a nice rainy day, so usually if it's rainy and we ain't going out, we'll watch a movie. So just a little, teaser. The next one I want to watch and review is Civil War, which is like an unofficial sequel to Leave the World Behind, is what it kind of is. Like, the conspiracy community has literally said it's like a sequel to Leave the World Behind. It's about a modern day civil war in America, so that's a little teaser. Spoiler alerts. I would think watching a movie review that you would already know that, but just in case, we are going to have some spoilers. Now, we purchased this movie for $10. It was on sale. Normally it is $10 to rent, so we're like, might as well just buy it for $10. That way we own it and we can rewatch it and stuff.
On Prime, Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. So I'm off today. Yeah, we got invited to hang out with some swingers. I was like, nah, I'm good. I want to watch a movie with my wife, and because we don't share, you know, and yeah, have fun. So, as far as the update, that's my little update. You got anything new?
I could potentially be having a promotion to start running my own store.
Yep, which is awesome.
Yep.
How much, what did you say you were going to make again? Like, possibly?
Possibly 24 or something.
Which is good money. I only make like 15, 25, so.
Yeah, the only downside is it'll be the same check every week. Like, there will never be any difference, no matter how much I work.
Yeah, it'd be salary.
Yep. That's the word. I couldn't find the word.
You're alright. Do you want me to start it off?
Yeah.
Alright, so first thing I thought, dude, and I Googled it and I researched. First thing I thought when I seen the trailer for this movie was, and especially as someone, if you watch my channel and you've known me throughout the years, I'm a user and collector of tarot cards. So first thing I thought was, dude, if they miss out on merch of making a tarot deck for this movie, the actual tarot deck used in the movie, they are fools. Well, turns out they're fools. They didn't actually make a tarot deck on it. So I'm like, why? Why did you not, you know?
Give them time. There's still a chance for them. They just might not have done it yet. Not all merchandise with a movie or TV show immediately comes out. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Yeah. I mean, you possibly could, like, do screen grabs and make your own tarot deck. Like, honestly, if you're someone who's big on crafts and arts and crafts and stuff, like, you could make, like, unofficial tarot decks, like, themed decks, and just do screen grabs or...
Yeah, but you can only do so much because they only do X amount of cards.
I know. You could do still... There's people... The original way of reading tarot, the minor arcana wasn't a thing. The actual original tarot deck was just major arcana. Mm-hmm. And there's actually some people who still read the original way and use only majors. They literally throw
majors?
Yeah.
Well, there's still, that means half the deck is missing. Because
yeah, I know.
they only ever showed half the deck, so you would still have to come up with the other half and how it looks.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm saying, like, they sell decks of just majors.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's people who read with only majors.
No, I know, but you were talking about screen grabbing the picture.
Of the majors, yeah.
But there's only 6 of them.
So they don't have to make the full deck. As a merchandiser, I wouldn't mind buying just a little pack. I mean, just for...
the ones from the movie?
Yeah. Like a pack of 6. All the cards from the movie. I want it for collector's reasons. I don't want it to actually read.
Yeah.
I just want it as a occult item collector. That would be cool as fuck, you know? Cyberpunk 2044? Is that the name of the game?
Oh, God, I don't know.
The one with Keanu Reeves, anyways.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, they made a cyberpunk-themed tarot deck that's in the game. You collect tarot cards of, like... And they're all cyberpunk-themed. Same concept. Like, dude, make an actual cards of them. Like, I would love to collect those, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
It is a generic film, which that turns some people off. I actually prefer generic films. Here lately, especially with how woke Hollywood is, I feel like with the major blockbusters, it's all fucking propaganda filled. Like, we watched actually a couple generic films, and I didn't feel like there was really any propaganda in them. Like, what was it, Night Swim?
Oh, yeah.
That one was pretty good. There was ISS. That one was pretty good. And I don't know, I just feel like with more major films, with major actors, I feel like they're just shoving propaganda down your throat.
Well, of course they are.
With generic movies, and I'm actually a fan of generic movies, I feel like you don't get that as much, which is good. There's a lot of good music in the movie. There's that, there was only like one song because, like I said, it is a generic film, so, but it's one of my favorite songs. It's that, and do you feel scared? I do, but I won't stop and falter. So that was pretty cool. I was like, ooh, this has got good music. But they only really play like one song, and I understand because it's a generic film.
Yeah, they can only get some, or afford so many rights.
So I'm gonna honestly tell, I'm gonna kind of tell like the synopsis, and then I'll let you take over to explain like not the origin. Well, I guess the origin of the witch, the lady.
Oh, okay.
Because you explained that pretty well while we were watching the movie.
Okay.
Because I did watch and pay attention, and I made notes, but I had to deal with cats and was doing stuff here and there, you know. So basically, the story is basically that it's a bunch of teenagers, or college. You think college? Yeah, they're like college-age kids.
They are in college. They even talk about being on campus and stuff.
Okay, young adults. It don't matter. Basically, it's kind of like Evil Dead. They're all renting out this, like, cabin in the woods. It's like a mansion.
Yeah.
So, it definitely has some homages, I could tell, of different horror movies. Like, they did an homage to Evil Dead with the setting of it, which was cool. Spoiler. Later on, there's a person who may or may not die, so that way I don't spoil it, who gets trapped in an elevator. I felt like that was definitely like an homage to like Devil, or elevators are kind of freaky in general.
Yeah.
And I try not to like do too much conspiratorial, even though this is a conspiracy channel, but I couldn't help but think like Prince died in an elevator. Don't let the elevator take you down. Devil, the movie Devil by M. Night Shyamalan, which is an awesome movie.
Oh, he actually has a new movie coming out.
Does he? What is it?
I forget what it's called, but I've seen that it's like a one-worded title.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I like M. Night Shyamalan. Like, there's a lot of people that said his movies started to suck, and I'm like, I didn't think they started to suck. I think suck is a harsh word, but they weren't as good as, like, Signs and Sixth Sense, you know.
His earlier stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as his early stuff.
The Village.
Yeah, I liked Village. People are 50-50 on that one. But even his newer stuff I still kind of like. There was that one with Batista that I really wanted to watch. We still need to watch it, but...
Oh, who's in this new one again?
Was it Knock at the Cabin, I think it was called.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his latest, and then he has a newer latest. It has another famous actor in it. Gosh darn it. I don't remember who it is.
But anyways, they're all renting out like a Airbnb.
Yep,
And
yep.
the owner is an occultist. Or at least an occult item collector. Because they run out of alcohol and they
go hunting in the house.
Yeah, they're like scavenging.
Let's go look for random booze.
They're like scavenge hunting for like booze basically. And they find a locked door, and it's a door to the basement, and they basically bust it in, and they find like a museum downstairs of occult items. And yeah,
it was close for a reason, guys.
They find a tarot deck in like a freaky looking old box with a pentagram on it and a magic circle, and they open it up and start looking through the cards. The cards are super old and worn, and every card is like terrifying looking. It's not the classic Waite Rider deck. It is like
dark as I'll get out.
Yeah, and like hand painted and stuff.
Well, it was a 1700s deck, so.
So if you don't care, do you kind of want to tell who made the deck and like her backstory?
Can't remember the lady's name. She was a lady though from Hungary back in the 1700s, like 1750s or something like that. She was the personal fortune teller, you might as well say. They called her a horoscope and astrologer. To that king at that time in history, and she, did him a reading like he wanted, like normal, nothing new here, until she got a reading of his wife and unborn child dying in childbirth. Of course, king gets mad because you don't want to hear that your lovely wife and what you're automatically thinking is going to be a son is going to die. Can't lose them, so he told her to change her prediction. So she kept reading it, she kept doing it, kept coming up with the same answer. Child and wife is going to die. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So then it happens, and to get back at her, the king chooses to hang her daughter. An eye for an eye concept. So...
Yeah. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
So she chooses to do dark magic with her deck. She does a dark ritual that makes it to where she binds her soul in anguish and grief and a revenge-filled motive to the deck, and so then she can manifest herself in a deck, or in the deck, her deck. And sure enough, she gets back at, councilmen guys, I think is what they said, and the king, and... so they all die. But that deck is forever cursed. So if you do a horoscope reading, it works in reverse, pretty much. It will make it to where you die from that center card that is pulled. The 13th card.
It's inversion.
Yeah, so if it's a hangman, you're going to hang.
Yeah.
If it's any card, that's how you're going to die. And it's also going to die based on whoever's doing the horoscope reading. Like they're genuinely reading the deck, going, oh yeah, I see that, you could have this problem, that problem, but don't worry, and then that's how they invert it into, oh, that's now going to be your death associated with that center card, so.
Yeah. So since she mentioned what she means by a horoscope meaning, it's called a horoscope spread. And I'm just going to do just a little introduction. This is a book that I picked up. It's super thick. By the way, if you're going to learn tarot, this is the best because I have tons of books on tarot. This is the best book I've ever found to learn tarot. It gets deep, man, but it's super explainable. It's pretty much like tarot for dummies. The author is MJ Abadi, Abadie, Abadie. But I wanted to give, like, this is a basic explanation of the horoscope spread, the 12 card spread. In the horoscope spread, the 12 cards are laid out in a circle. Like said, if you're watching, you could see. So you might want to screenshot that or Google image it, and it's got it all diagrammed out.
It's for each of the zodiac signs.
Yeah. They're laid out in a circle that corresponds to the 12 houses of the astrological chart. A 13th card, a significator, can be placed in the center if desired. Now, the significator is basically whoever you're reading, they're the significator card. Either chosen or the next card that comes up. House 1 begins at the left horizontal point. See diagram, which I showed you, so screenshot that or pause it. And the cards are dealt around counterclockwise until the 12th card sits above the first card. Each house refers to the specific area of life, thus the cards are read individually in reference to each house. This spread is not generally good for answering specific questions, but is best used for an overview of where the person is in life at the time of the reading. It does not matter what the querent's sun sign is, nor where the other planets are located in the natal chart. The houses are generic in meaning and apply across the board. Now, there is tons of pages on just that horoscope. Well, let's see, about six pages on just the horoscope spread. I'm not going to obviously read all that. That's a basic introduction of, like, basically an overall of what it is. I did think about perhaps doing another episode another day of doing specifically the horoscope spread.
Oh, I was going to say, you didn't want to do a horoscope of me?
Not right now. I'd rather review this movie. I have tons of notes. Maybe on our own personal time. But, yeah. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do an episode on the horoscope spread in general, which I probably will do it whether you say so or not, because that's how I usually roll with my channel. But, yeah, that's the horoscope spread. I did like that they kept with basic rules of tarot as someone who has done tarot for years, like using another person's deck.
Big no.
Yeah, like the main character, she doesn't want to do tarot readings because they find a tarot deck and they're like, okay, we ain't got beer or alcohol. Let's
you know how to do them, right?
Yeah, you know how to do them. Read our fortunes because we're all bored. And she's like, you're not supposed to use another person's deck. And she says it's bad luck, which I've never heard that one specifically. The reason why I heard you're not supposed to use another person's deck is when you are using any sort of sacred item that's sacred to you, you're not really supposed to let other people use them because you're putting your energy into that item. And if someone else uses it, they're putting their energy into it. So now you have like...
tainted.
Yeah, it's dirty. I always use the word dirty. It has two people's energies in it. Like me and my wife, we could use the same items. I don't care. She could use my items any day she wanted.
And it can change the reading.
Yeah. But like, especially like random people. You definitely don't want random people touching your deck and shit. And then when you cleanse it, it's coming out purely clean. So then you have to re-put your energy into it, using it. You know, so it's kind of an annoying process. Like, my ex-wife invited these fucking idiots over my house while I was at work. And she's like, yeah, my husband does fortune telling. And she, like, literally, like, let them touch my cards, look through my cards and shit. And as soon as I got home, I did a reading, because I was, like, super big into tarot at the time. And I'm like, I just felt off. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I'm getting weird answers that don't make sense.
Who be touching my stuff?
And no, I didn't even accuse her. She was like, oh, you're doing a reading? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, about what? I'm like, honey, I do a reading every day to open my day and end my day. I was like, that's just what I do. I like to practice, you know.
No, I know, honey.
No, I was talking to her back in my head.
No, I know.
But then she was like, oh yeah, Sheena and Sunny came by and they looked through your cards. I showed them your cards, and I literally was like, well, that fucking explains it. Like, don't ever do that.
Oh no, but when I said who's been, touching my stuff.
Yeah.
What you were thinking, probably.
No, not at the time. I really wasn't.
Really? Oh, okay. I would have already been like...
But I knew that something was off. I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. I was like, something's off. These readings are coming up weird. You know? And that's what it was. And I'm like, dude, don't ever do that. And she's like, why are you freaking out? I'm like, I'm not freaking out. Just don't ever let people touch my cards. You know?
Yeah.
And at the time, we were on the downward spiral. And she's like, well, I can't touch your cards. And I'm like, honestly, no. As horrible you're my wife, but as horrible as a person you are, like, no, I don't want you putting your energy into my cards, because she was an alcoholic and beating me up and doing drugs and
can't blame you there,
having threesomes with other people. And so I'm like, yeah, not even you touch my cards.
No touchy.
That's why I was like, she's allowed to, my new wife, because she's not a piece of trash. But, yeah, I mean, I did like that they had, like, basic rules that they kept up with and stuff, which was cool. The High Priestess card, too, I don't know, that deck that they were using was definitely evil, and there's little Easter eggs throughout the movie, and as an occultist, I was sitting there finding all these little Easter eggs, which is...
immediately researching it. What's this?
Which is cool. Well, no, half of them I already knew.
No.
Like, the High Priestess card, she has an inverted cross, which some would say that's satanic.
Yeah.
Now, the actual origin of this upside-down cross, which I already knew, but most people don't know, they just freak out when they see one.
Yeah.
It's St. Peter's cross. It's not actually an evil symbol.
Wait, why is St. Peter's cross upside down?
That's what I'm getting into.
Well.
You're alright. Jesus was crucified upright. And St. Peter was such a loyal follower and was such a good believer in Jesus. He felt, because he was punished to crucifixion also. And St. Peter said, I do not deserve to be crucified in the same manner as our Lord and Savior. So he requested that he was crucified upside down, because he didn't feel that he was worthy enough to be crucified upright like Jesus. So it's actually a beautiful Christian symbol. The pentacle also, not the pentagram, but the pentacle upright is a Christian symbol too. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole for a whole nother episode. Maybe one day we'll cover it. Yeah. You got anything to say on that?
Nope.
Alright, I'm gonna keep taking the reins.
Yep.
So, this might be a turnoff for people. It doesn't really bother me. The movie's PG-13. Because I've literally seen people who have watched trailers and they go, especially with horror movies, they go, oh, I'm not gonna watch that. That's PG-13. And I go, well, why does that matter? And they go, because it's not gonna be scary.
I'll admit in the sense of this, it could be scary, but it was definitely more gory than, oh no, I knew how gory it was going to be, I take that back,
Yeah.
The trailers told you how gory it's gonna be, especially with the first death. They already show that in trailers. So I mean.
Yeah, and that was one thing I was gonna mention. Definitely is for a PG-13 movie, because we didn't check the rating before we watched it. We just automatically watched it because I knew I would just wanted to cover it either way. But I was like, this is actually like pretty fucking brutal and bloody and shit. I was like, this has got to be rated R? And we checked, and no, it's PG-13. So
PG-13.
Which actually ties in with my next point of, I can already tell there's going to be, I haven't watched anyone else's reviews. I just wanted to go ahead and review it myself.
Yeah.
With being a virgin, with virgin eyes, virgin ears.
Virgin.
The only thing I saw was the trailer, and that was it.
Yeah, that's all we saw.
I lied. I did watch Mr. Gigi's review.
Oh, pardon me.
Go check out Mr. Gigi. He's an awesome channel. Tell him who sent you.
Miss Gigi.
I can already tell watching this, and as soon as I seen the trailer, I was like, oh, Christians are gonna hate this movie. And
yeah,
I actually have, okay, the Catholic Church, because they actually make the children of the church, like, go to school, like, I forget what they call it, but it's like children's church like the Protestants do, but you actually graduate and shit, and do First Communion and shit.
Oh.
Which I think is cool as fuck. It reminds me of, like, magical schools, like ceremonial magical schools. But the Catholic Church, when The Exorcist came out in the 70s, they were making the kids in the church watch it as like a propaganda film of like, hey, fuck around and find out. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And obviously they were teenagers. They weren't showing this to like kindergartners and shit. They were like teenagers and adults who were new converts and stuff. Because if you're a new convert, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but they make you go to like their little church school thing. You have to graduate and do First Communion as a Catholic and shit. I think it's neat. I always wondered, like, this could actually be, if you're a Christian watching this, this could actually be, and this is me, who's an occultist saying this, who's a former Christian, an ex-Christian, an anti-Christian. This would be a good fucking movie for propaganda of, I could see like a...
Don't mess with the occult stuff.
Yeah, don't play with tarot cards. This is what will happen. Which, as an occultist, I know this isn't going to happen. It's not going to hurt.
No.
But Christians hate the movie, and I'm like, this is actually like a perfect movie for propaganda. Like, another movie would be the Conjuring series. It's all, quote-unquote, based off real stuff. And throughout the whole movies of The Conjuring, they're literally talking about how the devil is real, and we have to be Christian, and we have to convert, and I'm like, these are perfect movies for Christian propaganda.
And I don't doubt that Christians are going to use it.
They should. For, like, teenagers, like, you know how they have teenage class at night on, like, Wednesday nights?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be perfect. Like, hey, we're going to watch tarot. You know, and then we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to tell you why I made you watch this movie. Because it teaches you don't play with tarot cards, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ouija. That's another good movie to do that with.
The Ouija.
But speaking of movies like Ouija and this movie Tarot, I had an idea. And I don't know, someone could steal it, I don't care. I'm not a millionaire, so I can't make movies anyways. A Charlie Charlie would be a good movie. Charlie Charlie?
Yeah.
And there was also, what was that coin game? Do you remember? It was like...
Hispanic.
Yeah, it was like a Hispanic game. And you're basically asking questions of like 2 girls who committed suicide in a bathroom.
Kind of like a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, kind of like Bloody Mary, but it's also divination, though. You can ask questions and it answers the questions. That would be a good horror movie. Just 2 horror movie ideas. Just, I don't know.
Same. Just throw that out.
Yeah, if I ever win the lotto, I'll make them into movies.
Yeah.
We did check. There is no unrated version, because I'm not going to lie. And she can get up mad at me if she wants, but the girls in this movie are pretty. They're beautiful women. And I was like...
Well, he wanted to see them naked.
Yeah, basically. I was like, shower scene. And then I seen it was PG-13. I said, God dang. No titties? Come on, man. They do show, like I said, Easter eggs. So there is at one point they show the Eye of Providence. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on what the Eye of Providence means. By the way, conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also an occultist. The triangle is not a bad symbol. It actually means upright, like this. It actually means stability. And Alcoholics Anonymous, the creator was a spiritualist. He was an occultist. He purposely made the symbol a triangle within a circle. It means stability. So if you see an inverted triangle, that means chaos. So, yeah. I don't know why people have demonized the triangle so much. Anytime they see an eyeball with inside of a triangle, they start, or if they just see a triangle, they start freaking out and Illuminati, Illuminati, it's evil. It's not evil. If you fear symbols, you are falling victim to those symbols. So educate yourself. Yeah, educate yourself on symbols and what they mean. As an occultist, another Easter egg I found was there's a lady who... Can you explain the Astrum lady?
She used the deck back in London of 1988. She read for her friends, but because she didn't read for her own horoscope, she lived. And because she lived, she was like, I don't get it, why are all my friends dying? And she started figuring it out and then just started doing the research, really. Like, that's really about it for her story. Other than when they involved her to learn the history of the deck and who made it and why it is cursed. And they invited her to the house when they went back for the deck. But she died. I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil that right now. She died.
Which we already gave spoiler warnings, so it's fine.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, that one to me is like, she was only good for information. That's what her character was information.
But
on the deck.
But basically, her name's Astrum. And if you're an occultist, that's a reference to Astrum Argentum, which was a secret society that Aleister Crowley created. I'm pretty sure I did an episode on Astrum Argentum, so shameless plug. Go check out a previous episode. It's about Aleister Crowley. I think it's literally called Aleister Crowley.
It is.
Okay, it is.
Pretty sure.
So go find the episode just called Aleister Crowley. We get into Astrum Argentum if you want a deep dive on that. So that way I don't have to sit here and do a deep dive on it. I've already did it. I don't like to rehash old information. As far as like just a regular movie review, non-conspiratorial, I found myself laughing a lot during this movie. There's an Asian character. He's like the comic relief. He's like a chubby Asian guy.
Paxton.
Paxton is his name. I don't know. He's really big into true crime podcast. He, at one point they open his laptop and his wallpaper is literally him, like, doing a gangster pose with smoke coming out of his mouth.
Not only that, but his password is password.
Yeah, his password is password. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny. the movie. There was lots of times, but it doesn't take much to make me laugh, especially if I'm already in a good mood. And today's my day off, and I'm in a good mood today. And I thought it was cute. Like, it's not like rated R humor. It's PG-13 humor, but
Yeah.
I actually kind of like, like the whole teeny bopper humor as an older person who's 33 years old, because it makes me feel like young again watching it.
I was about to say, it makes me feel young.
Yep.
Again.
So if you like comedy relief, you'll definitely like it. Getting back into like the characters, I just wanted to talk about the magician a little bit. Like, and this is just something I noticed as an occultist. He's a literal magician. So you have magic with MAGIC, like magic that a magician would do. Street magic, like her brother. And then you have real magic, which is magic with a K, MAGICK. So they made him, the magician card, a literal magician, not a ceremonial magician.
Yep.
Which is fine. I actually liked that they did that, because the way that he killed his victim was he put her in a box, like a magic show, and like started sawing through the box. So it definitely gave like homage. Like, remember how I said I felt like there was Evil Dead and Devil homage to older horror stuff? I felt like that could have been an homage to Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe. Because you just see that blade coming for you, and you can't do anything about it. And he cuts her in half. It's a brutal fucking murder for a PG-13 movie. Last thing I noticed while watching is just that there is like an interracial couple, which I felt like it didn't feel forced, which is cool. And if you have issues with interracial couples, that means there's something wrong with you. And it didn't feel like it was getting shoved down my throat. I think they did have a gay character, but...
Yeah, it was the girls.
Yeah. Even then, I don't even think there was like make-out scenes or anything, so...
No, they were just kind of loving, laying on each other and stuff.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
I dropped my glass.
Which is cool. It didn't feel like propaganda, which I don't have a problem with gay people or interracial couples, but I know that there are some viewers out there who may have a problem with that, and I know I do have a Christian fan base, somewhat. But yeah, it didn't feel woke, didn't feel like propaganda. And, alright, she's passing out.
I am getting there, sadly.
Well, literally, I'm done, honey.
Oh, are you? Look!
Wait. We're not done yet. We have one more thing we have to do.
What's that?
Okay. 1 out of 10. What do you give the movie? That's how I was going to end it, because I went through all the notes. We're good.
Yeah.
Because I got to pee anyways.
I give it a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay.
I give it a 7.
Like I said, you guys can make fun of me. I've already watched Mr. Gigi's review. He hated it.
What a pity.
I am not that hard of a person to please. So I do say that whenever I do watch movies. Like, I'm super fucking easy to please when it comes to movies. I purposely like... Not purposely, but I unironically like bad movies.
Hey, some people do.
Like Lake Placid, fucking... But I also like really good movies. So... Anaconda, that's a good example. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I wish that I didn't have to get up and down doing shit, but I had a cup of coffee, and it's kind of hard for me to sit still when I have a cup of coffee. So I'm going to be super generous, honestly, and I'm going to give it a 8.5, 8.5.
That is generous.
But go check it out. It's $10 right now because it's on sale through Amazon Prime. I think it's worth watching if you're an occultist. If you're a conspiracy theorist, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a non-negative conspiracy theorist, if you can actually just enjoy shit instead of just hating everything that has eyeballs and triangles in it. But yeah, do you have anything you want to plug?
No.
You don't want to plug any of your gaming characters or anything like that to play games with people?
I'll just put that in the description because I don't know anything like that off the
Top of your head?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you like online gaming, she'll put it in the description. You can check her out and play video games with her and shit.
Yep.
I don't play games except for like old games, and I'm not online. So, sorry. You can't play with me. That's why this is a conspiracy channel, not a video game streaming channel. Maybe one day. The only thing I have to plug is check out my older conspiracy cinema movie reviews. I have a playlist, and I'm going to put this onto that playlist. Check out a book review, or an audio book with commentary. It's still a podcast of Leave the World Behind. That's a series that I'm doing right now. And just keep your what?
I just said yep.
And just keep your eye open for new episodes that come out of me talking about conspiracies. I put an episode out almost every single day. So, I hope y'all enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you all have an awesome day.
Bye.
Yeah, stay spooky.